El loco, loco.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to another episode of our class, ES224 Design, Production, and Utilization of Instructional Material. There is a popular saying that what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. But what I do, I understand. It's not that the three of them have discrepancies, because as a teacher you have to talk for people to hear you, and the students too have to hear and probably imbibe what they hear from you. The same aspects which is aimed at remembering is the aspects where simple charts fall into. It is always ideal that every learner should have a visual representation of whatever they learn. It is always ideal that they remember in a visual aspect of whatever they learn. And in the popular classification of instructional materials, we have the audio, the visual, and the audiovisual. So charts, simple charts fall under the visual aspect of instructional materials. So today we are going to go through how to produce a simple chart for a class. Like popular saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Meaning that the first thing you are supposed to do before even going through a chart, constructing a chart for your class, is to plan it. Okay, so now that you already have what you want to draw on your cardboard, the next thing is now for you to know the orientation of your image, how it's going to appear on the cardboard. Is it going to be in the landscape, like it is standing now, it is landscape, or is it going to be on portrait? So if it's going to be on landscape or portrait, you should have the plan already. After knowing what it is going to be, whether it is portrait or landscape, then you now construct your borderline. Remember, borderline is very important. It is part of the grading system. By now you should know how to construct borderline. You should just take it from the edge. The next thing is to plan the space for your lettering technique. For your lettering, you plan the space for your lettering. The lettering consists of, at least for a chart, we have to do the title and the labels. So you should know at once the spaces of charts that have been done now, so that you can see how we grade or evaluate charts. Computer students, am I right? This is a computer student, and this person has done. It's always good to have a simple title for your work. Now, look at the lettering of the title. Parts of a computer. This person has applied grid lettering, proper grid lettering. You can see the way it is lettered. You can see the spacing and the balance of it, compared with the content of the work. You can see the content taking much space of it. So looking at the corrected version of the titration from the chemistry, the objective of this lovely chart.
Thank you, sir. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to identify at least 3 carnivorous animals on the chart. They should be able to know their wildlife, how they feed on, and what they feed on.
Very good. The first objective should mention is the most appropriate for this chart, which is to identify at least 3 carnivorous animals. Content. That's from the title based on objective. Or maybe civic education. That's the subject here. This person is writing transportation mode. This could go for probably like business studies or something. People have to work, but rather the content should be clearly drawn and seen. So it's always good to have a proper chart like this. Onto this one now. This will go for maybe business studies. You have seen different charts now. You have seen the way we grade them, the way we analyze, the way we see. Everybody evaluating charts have different ways to see it, but at least the 5 criteria that I mentioned are the basics to evaluate a visual chart, which is meant for instructional purpose. You can see different charts for different things, but for instructional purpose, those are the criteria we use to evaluate. So you, as a teacher that wants to construct a chart, try as much as possible to follow the guidelines that you have seen in this video, and ensure you try to plan. Planning is always proper. When you plan well what you want to put on your cardboard, then you have a very wonderful chart. Plan all your materials. Your ruler, always use a proper longer ruler. Your color materials should be available, so that when you get to that point, you will know what you want to do and construct whatever you want to construct in good time. A chart approximately should not take more than 1 hour 30 minutes to construct, and in the class you have 2 hours to construct it. So what will stop you from having a complete chart with proper colors? Try to do a good chart today and give your students something to see and remember that will last long in their memory. Thank you very much.